How are
How
you?
are you?
I'm
I'm
Mark
Mark
Smith.
Smith.
I
I
am
am
honored to
honored to
be the
be the
author
author
as
as
well
well
as
as
the
the
writer for
writer for
nationally
nationally
acclaimed
acclaimed
podcast, The
podcast, The
Process.
Process.
In
In
Series
Series
3 of
3
The
of The
Process,
Process,
specifically
specifically
entitled
entitled
Why
Why
Not
Not
Me,
Me,
I
I
created a
created a
message
message
on
on
purpose.
purpose.
That was
That was
written to
written to
help
help
us
us
understand
understand
our
our
gifts,
gifts,
which
which
really
really
falls in
falls in
line with
line with
looking in
looking
the
in the
mirror
mirror
every
every
day
day
to
to
dissect
dissect
something
something
simple.
simple.
And
And
that
that
is
is
the
the
simple
simple
question:
question:
what do you
what do
want
you
out of
want
life?
out of life?
Now,
Now,
did you
did you
ever
ever
see
see
or
or
hear
hear
someone
someone
say,
say,
I
I
wish I
wish
could
I
be a
could be a
stockbroker?
stockbroker?
Or they
Or they
may have
may have
choose
choose
some
some
other
other
profession.
profession.
Others will
Others will
say they
say they
wish they
wish they
could
could
play a
play a
musical
musical
instrument,
instrument
or
or
how they
how
would
they would
love to
love to
make a
make a
living
living
as a
as a
professional
professional
sports player.
sportsman.
It is
It is
within
within
each
each
person's
person's
ability
ability
to
to
do
do
any of
any of
those
those
things.
things.
The
The
question
question
is,
is,
how
how
badly
badly
do they
do they
really
really
want it?
want it?
If you
If you
want
want
something
something
really
really
bad
bad
enough,
enough,
you will
you will
persevere
persevere
to
to
make
make
sure you
sure you
get it.
get it.
Otherwise,
Otherwise,
it's
it's
just a
just a
pipe
pipe
dream.
dream.
If you're
If you're
not
not
happy
happy
with your
with your
current
current
career,
career,
but
but
constantly
constantly
dreaming
dreaming
about doing
about doing
something
something
that you've
that you
always
always
wanted to
wanted to
do,
do,
what
what
is
is
stopping
stopping
you?
you?
Maybe
Maybe
what
what
you
you
want
want
requires a
requires a
degree,
degree,
or you
or you
don't
don't
have the
have the
money.
money.
Another
Another
possibility is
possibility is
that you
that you
don't
don't
believe you
believe you
have the
have the
talent to
talent to
take your
take your
dreams.
dreams.
So you
So you
forget
forget
about them
about them
over
over
time,
time,
or
or
just
just
say
say
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
meant to
meant to
be.
be.
But
But
what
what
about
about
all the
all the
people who
people who
do
do
accomplish
accomplish
everything
everything
that you
that you
give
give
up
up
on?
on?
How
How
about the
about the
fact that
fact
they
that they
come and
come
they're
and they're
able to
able to
make it
make it
happen?
happen?
The
The
truth
truth
is,
is,
they
they
wanted
wanted
it
it
enough to
enough to
make it
make it
happen.
happen.
They
They
persevered.
persevered.
You will
You will
find a
find a
slew of
slew of
stories from
stories from
people
people
who
who
didn't
didn't
have the
have the
money,
money,
or the
or the
right
right
equipment,
equipment,
or the
or the
talent.
talent.
I mean,
I
the
mean, the
list
list
goes
goes
on and
on and
on and
on and
on.
on.
The
The
difference is
difference is
that
that
they
they
found a
found a
way
way
to
to
what they
what
were
they were
lacking.
lacking.
This is
This is
the
the
golden
golden
concept
concept
behind
behind
doing
doing
what you
what you
love.
love.
So,
So,
does
does
this
this
mean
mean
that
that
you're
you're
stuck
stuck
doing
doing
what you're
what you're
currently
currently
doing?
doing?
For
For
many,
many,
this is
this is
exactly
exactly
what will
what will
happen.
happen.
And
And
this is
this is
it's a
it's a
sad
sad
shame.
shame.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
have to
have to
be
be
that
that
way.
way.
You
You
need to
need to
figure
figure
out
out
how
how
to
to
make
make
your
your
dreams
dreams
become
become
a
a
reality.
reality.
It's
It's
quite
quite
possible
possible
you are
you are
focusing
focusing
on the
on the
wrong
wrong
dream.
dream.
Try to
Try to
pinpoint
pinpoint
what it
what it
is you
is you
want to
want to
do
do
and
and
use
use
that
that
as the
as the
basis.
basis.
When you
When you
find your
find your
right
right
dream,
dream,
you
you
are
are
likely
likely
to
to
take the
take the
necessary
necessary
steps
steps
to
to
set the
set the
stage
stage
to
to
achieve
achieve
those
those
dreams.
dreams.
It's
It's
okay to
okay to
have
have
different
different
dreams
dreams
and
and
different
different
dreams to
dreams to
shoot
shoot
for.
for.
It's
It's
your
your
prerogative,
prerogative,
but
but
you're
you're
persevering.
persevering.
You
You
may
may
even
even
find
find
yourself
yourself
going
going
after
after
several
several
of
of
them
them
at the
at the
same
same
time.
time.
It's
It's
probably a
probably a
good
good
idea
idea
to
to
put your
put your
efforts
efforts
in
in
one at
one
a
at a
time
time
to
to
increase your
increase your
chances of
chance of
success.
success.
Even if
Even
you
if you
pursue the
pursue the
wrong
wrong
dream
dream
initially,
initially,
at
at
least you
least you
gave it
gave
a
it a
try.
try.
However,
However,
before
before
giving
giving
up,
up,
make
make
sure
sure
you
you
put
put
in the
in the
necessary
necessary
time,
time,
the
the
necessary
necessary
work,
work,
and the
and the
necessary
necessary
steps.
steps.
You
You
should
should
know
know
early
early
whether or
whether or
not you've
not you've
made the
made the
right
right
choice.
choice.
And at
And at
that
that
point,
point,
make
make
the
the
any and
any and
all
all
adjustments
adjustments
that you
that you
need
need
to do
to do
to
to
see
see
fit.
fit.
Always
Always
remember,
remember,
you
you
control
control
what you
what you
give,
give
and you
and you
control
control
what you
what you
receive.
receive.
And
And
you
you
do
do
this,
this,
and you
and
will
you will
have the
have the
opportunity to
opportunity to
get
get
everything
everything
that you
that you
want
want
out of
out of
life.
life.
Stay
Stay
tuned for
tuned for
more
more
motivational
motivational
minutes.
minutes.
I'm
I'm
Mark
Mark
Smith with
Smith
The
with The
Process,
Process,
and
and
I
I
will
will
see
see
you
you
soon.
soon. Welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast. It's me, your hostess, Jenny Schmanny. Thank you for being here with us. That was our new motivational moment with Mr. Mark V. Smith, author of The Process, and a whole lot of other things. He will be bringing the motivation to us on our segments through messages of that sort. So I'm grateful and I'm happy for the collaboration and the sponsorship that we are getting from Mr. Smith. Now, this is all new for both of us, so sorry. This is all new for both of us, so uh, we're moving on up. up, stepping the game up, you too can get an ads and on our podcast. So I'll let you know about that in a little bit. But in the meantime, our mission. We are a community based promotional platform exposing the voices of the voiceless to bring awareness to brands created by our people for the people. We use our voices to share truth, creativity, and encouragement with our listeners to nurture, heal, and inspire them in hopes and effort to make the world a better and more empathetic place. Here at WCMD Media and Dare Academy, we are becoming a part of the spotlight for the county of Camden to build and enhance the quality of life by bringing awareness to our outlets, programs, and self help topics. Our guests range from independent entrepreneurs, mainstream music artists and creators, city officials, the county businesses, not to mention the great visual from our surrounding cities and areas that support our city either directly or indirectly. Offer red carpet interviews. We bring different guests with topics. Lately, our topics have been more towards the healing process. So as you know, the war is going on, innocent people are dying, different things are happening, people have emotional problems. So we're touching base with the emotional so that maybe, some of us that are afraid to come forward and don't be scared to comment or call in. Some of uh, us that are afraid to speak up or whatever, maybe you want to just sit in and listen. You don't have to speak up or anything like that. But a comment or a question does not mean that is directed to you. It may be something that you didn't understand that you want to ask a question about. And so that's why we are bringing in authorities on these different questions. I'm textbook. So, I'm not a doctor or a psychologist or anything like that, but I'm bringing in life coaches. Today we have Mr. JEEVAN MATHARU coming all the way from the UK online to, and he's a life coach, and he's coming to talk to us about his experiences and how he got through his traumas. Okay, so you know that social media has taken over every aspect of our lives and our culture. So this is the way we get the word out. So podcast is on all platforms. Um, our platform may be the same as other podcasts, but our guests are unique. They're popular, and they've been supporting the qualities of human life. Our plan has always been to bring an extra push to the voices. We Sometimes we're overlooked. So this is why we want to bring the extra push to the voices. From indie to mainstream, our music sends the message of strength and struggles of whoever composes the art. Are authors. They introduce literature that exposes the depths of human stability in health and nature. With the goal of staying on top of our marketing and development, we radiate good habits to the community and yours. And we also have a lot of fun here. So this is the comfort level. And I'm Janny Schmanny, the hostess. Uh, We can be viewed live here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and via our websites at thecomfortlevel.com, wcmdmedia.com. And I'm breaking records on radio. If you want a chance to have your music on radio, send me a kite. Send me a kite, and we'll get it out. I want to talk to you about what they're saying about Camden. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's really a shame. It's really a shame. Our guest will be on at 5:30. So right now, y'all, and I need these comments in the comment. I need the comments, okay? So, I read the article. Let me get to it, and I'm going to read it to you, okay? Officials are outraged, and so am I, as Camden was named New Jersey's ugliest city. Yes, the ugliest city. Bashed as our state's most dangerous city, Camden just got a second opinion. They say it's New Jersey's ugliest city, too. Now, that sounds like a punchline of a bad joke, but no one here is laughing, said the county commissioner, Carmen Rodriguez, expressing her pride to be born and bred here in Camden. A chorus of local officials joined Rodriguez to refute the latest black eye. They said it impugns the decade-long effort to revitalize South Jersey's largest urban hub. Now, you know, Camden has done a lot and came up. Camden, I'm telling you, you have to be here, been here years ago, and see it now. Camden looks much better. Certain areas still need to be addressed, but Camden is looking pretty good out here. Okay, now Mayor Vic Kostarfis, he said he was outraged, describing that new slam as unfair, insulting, insensitive, and almost inhuman. To get painted with such a broad brush of old false information, uh, it denigrates our residents and our businesses. It's just they're irked. Camden still gets slammed as New Jersey's most dangerous city a decade after, overhauling the culture, the training, and the tactics that the police officers use here. Now, how can Camden be deemed the most dangerous city, and we're the Philly boys right now, late, okay? But that's all right. So the Philly boys are not even here to debate this, but everybody knows that Philly is the worst state, okay, for danger. And it's a lot of good stuff in Philly as well. You know what I mean? And there's reasons why Philly has to calm down. Because everything is there. You know what I mean? All the money is there. That's why the residents aren't getting money, because their eyes is closed to everything. And the mindset is just, fast or famine. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Feast or famine, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? So Camden disbanded city police force in 2012, switching to county police coverage that focus on community outreach and trains officers to engage in proactive policing and de-escalation tactics. The result, they insist, has caused the city's violent and nonviolent crime numbers to plummet. Yet our city still gets unfairly branded as dangerous, and that's not right and it's not fair, said the mayor. Our city has wonderful community partners. We're all working incredibly hard to recreate Camden as a strong 21st century city. We have been successful. Of course, we can do better and we can do more, but we are and we will, from the words of Mayor Karstarp. He said he would prefer the mainstream news media and social media focus more attention on many efforts to improve Camden. This is what Mayor Karstarp cites. $3 billion worth of new corporate and business investments, a decline in city unemployment to pre pandemic levels, Decreases in violent and nonviolent crime, hitting a 40-year low in 2021. Decreases in the public schools district's dropout rate, academic and athletic achievements by city school students, a bond rating upgrade that confirms Camden's financial health. We good over here. Besides those highlights, Commissioner Al Dyer, also a city native, noted that Camden County will invest over $40 million in city roadway projects during 2022, including a $10 million improvement to Federal and Market Streets. Okay, coming up. Uh, Camden has also many fine aesthetic qualities, cited the Dyer. Exquisite waterfront views and many still intact historic buildings that date back to the Victorian area. We have a award-winning restaurant whose owners help feed the homeless and elderly. We have mural artists who reminds us this city is invincible. And a brand new park transformed from an old landfill, referring to that 62-acre Kramer Hill waterfront park built on the former Harrison Avenue dump. Yes, that park is beautiful. I'll go by because we used the Croc Center next to it. And it's beautiful. I haven't been up in there, but I'm dying to go up in there. I'll wait till it get a little warmer. That wind, you know what I mean? So they still growing the grass and stuff too. I like green grass. I like long walks in the park. Really, I do. Well, well, one of the city's closest allies is Camden Community Partnership. Its chairperson, former Mayor Dana Red, said the New York-based travel site shows an excellent ability to view Camden through the wrong end of a telescope. We are proud of our city's progress over the last decade. If this website cared enough to visit Camden instead of looking from a distance, perhaps the beauty of our people and our city would have been apparent. That's what Miss Dana Red said, former mayor. Yes. Camden is invincible and beautiful. We're underrated by their misguided musings. You got to come to Camden and doing a lot of good things out here in Camden. It's beautiful. You know, you don't have to worry about as soon as you walk with somebody, they're going to look at you and give you that look and stuff. We don't play that stuff here. You know, things happen. You know, just because Camden had tough times in the past doesn't mean our city deserved the appalling label from a travel site. No one here. We, we haven't even heard the travel site. Please hold. We have a caller. Tell me you can hear me. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, it is? Okay, I'll let him know tonight. All right. All right. All right. Thanks. I had to answer that because that's my girl. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I have an interview getting ready to come up. All right. Well, just because Camden had tough times doesn't mean that, you know, they can call it the ugliest city, you know. She's like Dana Red and Dyer's a bunch of people at the travel site. They said they never set foot in Camden. They never came to our city. Nah, they would have seen firsthand all the beauty and the strength and the resilience of our city that our city has to offer. You know, so you know, I'm from Jersey. I did a lot of work with artists and branding and different things in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Most of the music I play is mostly Philadelphia indie artists and things like that. You know what I mean? But Camden is beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, if some of the Camden people and Jersey people would, want to work with me, but see, it's different. What they always thought I was from Philly. You know what I mean? And then people get the different perspective of you because they know that Philly people have different mindset. I have a different mindset from everybody. Okay, I have a different mindset from everybody. All right. So that was our guy. Mark V. Smith. He gave us that great inspiration. You got to get up off your butt. Got to get up off your butt if you want to do something. Like he was saying, you got to get up off your butt. Okay, let me find this email. Give me 1 second, guy. Send this out to this guy. I should have had it in front of me. But since I didn't have it in front of me, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get our guest speaker in, send him in here because he's probably waiting. Oh God, here they go with this mess. Always gonna sign in here. Hold on, folks. Roll with it. Roll with it. What I'm doing right now is we can't send out the invitational link without until we're live. So once we live, we get the link and we send it to the guest. And that's what I will do. Very easy. There's no downloading. You will click the link and have your Wi-Fi connection. Very good. And he's coming to us from the UK. Okay, so the message has been sent. And we'll wait for him to come in. Okay. So as we're waiting for our guest to come in, I had a little track. And this track is by Del P featuring Jay Reezy, and it's called By Any Means. That's right. That's what we've been talking about. And that's the motivational speech from Mr. Smith. What are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do? All right. So this is Del P.
Kings must protect the queens of all springs. Nowadays, the generation don't know what that all means. Never seen so many females and babies slaughtered. Killers and against it, they supported. Instead of trying to be your sisters, they recorded. Listen, something gotta give, ain't nothing G about it. First Amendment, so it's only right to speak about it. City full of demons, yeah, that's how it's seen. When these kids can't even trick and treat on Halloween. No pics, so they hit whoever on the scene. Shoot first, think later, that's the normal thing. We're full of walking zombies, what's wrong with them? They warn over blocks that don't belong to them. Mr. Women and children gotta stay strong for them. Pouring my thoughts, it was time to make a song for them. Keep healing, baby, na 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 na. Gotta protect our queen, na 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 na. Love is all we need, na 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 na. Love is all we need, na 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 na. You got to stop and look inside your soul. You got to know this what to do. Love is all we need, na 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 na. Love is all we need, pray to God. Turn on the news and immediately another sad story of a homicide that weakens me. What happened to order and having decency? Lacking compassion, leading the caskets repeatedly. Out of control, the credit's about to roll. Misguided youth while the losers, the devil got their soul. Gotta be mindful of the company you keep. You're guilty by association, nothing is sweet. Cauliflowers interrupt us in our sleep. When is enough will be enough, we want some peace. Negativity's the trend that's what's keeping us down. Crazy chilly, crazy silly, we need it now. Numbers don't lie, count the losses. Too many lose their life, most times they not the target. Government showing there's no concern in times of darkness. Brother, step up, it's up to us to try to solve. Keep healing, baby, na 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 na. Gotta protect our queen, na 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 na. Love is all we need, na 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 na. Love is all we need, na 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 na. You got to stop and look inside your soul. You got to know this what to do. Love is all we need, na 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 na.
Who's on the pre-roll?
Love is all we need, pray to God.
Y'all on the Instagram. You're not live on the Instagram. I just came live on the Instagram. I ain't watched the video. I didn't watch the video. I can't watch the video. I was there when they shot parts of the video there, and like the graphics that they did and the scenes looked so real, like they had bodies and everything. I should have put the video up and let y'all watch it. I don't know. I just thought I would play the song, but like it was hard. Like some of the actors I knew, some I didn't know, but when ones was laying on the ground with the fake blood on them and everything, it was this one young boy I knew, and I was taking pictures and stuff, and I just, it was so hard. I was like, hurry up, just let me take the picture. Like I couldn't even look at him like that, like he was looking dead, blood coming all out his mouth and stuff like that. Stuff is hard to look at. It's very hard. You know what I mean? Especially like people, they lost children and things like that. It's really hard, and like nobody even plans for to lose a child, let alone, have to make sure that their final resting place and stuff is. I know I'm talking about some things, but I'm leading into one of the guests that's coming on. This is a reality, and if you look again and you look real hard, reality, that's my name. You know what I mean? So everything is real. I talk about everything that's real. I ain't going to pull your leg or nothing. I need some comments or something because I feel like I'm talking to myself. So anyway, uh, I'm going to have Patricia Quinn, Patricia King Quinn come on, and she is the owner of her company and her brand, and it's called Final Farewell. Yes, it's a funeral home. Okay, but you got to find out the things that she does for people that have have these traumas, and and she finds funding for them. Some of them she funds herself. You know what I mean? And it's a whole thing that she's going to tell you. I happen to know her personally, you know, a little bit. I met her, you know what I mean? And like these people, they really have things to share. That's why I'm bringing you these type people, so that we can all be better. We can live better. We can feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like some of us wake up in the morning, they not even comfortable because you don't even know what you're gonna. You don't have nothing in the freezer that you're gonna pull out to cook for dinner. You know what I mean? Like you go to bed thinking about that stuff. Like tomorrow's another day. I gotta wake up. I got through this. The kids ate dinner and stuff. They had their meals all day. They got through the day. I got them in the bed. Tomorrow they gonna wake up and the first thing they gonna say is, "Mommy, where's the cereal?" Cereal. Like, yeah, my kids was like that. Let me tell you something. I don't care what you cooked. I don't care what you cooked. You cook. It doesn't matter if they didn't get any cereal. Then let me turn this around because they're not even here yet. Um, the cereal was a main staple of breakfast. Cereal don't even last in your belly. Cereal lasts like a half an hour. Half an hour, the kids is hungry again. You know what I mean? But if they didn't get that cereal, breakfast wasn't complete. I had a girlfriend too. Her husband, um, no matter what she cooked, they were Spanish. No matter what, or Puerto Rican. The Spanish is, I mean, they were Puerto Rican and Dominican. And he was like, if he don't have any rice, he hasn't eaten dinner. Like, where's my rice? Every day he has rice every day. And she can cook. She whipped some stuff up in there, and I was like, oh my God. And he was asking for rice. And she was like, you know what? He get on my nerve with that. So I'm like, Spanish people, they cook with big pots of rice and stuff like that, like keep it. And now I'm a lover of rice. My mom used to call me a geechee. She always used to say, lover of rice, you know. And she didn't like rice that much. She did like it, but not that much. I love me some rice. I eat rice, fried rice, white rice, put some butter, some salt, whatever. Mix the rice with the vegetables, anything on top of rice, gravy. I have to admit that I am a gravy connoisseur. Hmm. Yes, I can make gravy. Very good gravy. Hmm. Yes, my gravy is some kick-ass gravy. Okay. So Thanksgiving, I'm elected for the stuffings, kick-ass stuffings and gravy with my mom's recipes. Yes. Mm. Strawberry banana smoothie from our dear friends at Wawa. Wawa is pretty good. They do some things. You need to get a Wawa rewards card since we go to Wawa a lot. Wawa loves me. Uh, there's also some things going on. You get the rewards card. I've been enjoying free stuff. You know what I mean? And Wawa's doing dinner now. I know y'all know about that, but them burgers in Wawa is slamming. We tell them about it. Big boy, tell them about that burger. Yeah, big man, big man, like them burgers. You can make double burgers, and then you fix it your way. You can get whatever you want on the burger. The burger's big and it comes on the what's that roll? The broche. It comes on that and it's pretty good. So if anybody wants try any like frozen coffee, if you like frozen coffee, we got some coupons here from Wawa donated to the podcast for $1 off. Frozen coffee. I don't like frozen coffee. I don't like frozen coffee. I like hot coffee. The reason for getting coffee is that drink something hot. I don't even think that the coffee to keep me awake. I have an acquired taste for coffee now, and it's like I guess that's another personal addiction. Like I don't really think that the one cup of coffee is doing something for me. I know some people that have to drink coffee all day long. You know what I mean? I know y'all tired of hearing me say I know some people. I know some people. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people. Y'all want to know who I know? You gotta ask me. Y'all gonna keep watching. I'm gonna be bringing some things. I know the people miss me in the music industry, but I'm gonna be doing a few things. I'm coming out Friday. That's going to be the King and Queens out in Derby, Big's event. Brother and sisters going to be there. Judah Priest, Fire Nation Flames, and they're going to judge the competition. Somebody's going to be in with the belt. I heard they had like 14 queens competing, and I think only 5 kings. You know, because I think now I'm not sure, but I think because just so we girls won't be boring. No, I think that these 5 kings are from the last competition or something, or they missed it or something. It has something to do with that. You know what I mean? So it's a continuation or whatever. But it's going down, and that's at 16 North 9th Street in Derby. The D Cafe, right there in the heart of Derby off of Main Street. Mm. So I got people coming up. We're gonna have a friend of mine. He's from March Health, and then we're gonna talk about women's health. He found a way to get rid of menstrual cramps because of his wife. You know what I mean? His wife had bad cramps. He found a way to combat that, and he's going to talk to us about that. And that's something that a lot of women deal with. And if they can do something about it, they probably would do anything. Joe Templin's coming with his book, Everyday Excellence. We got Katie Chonacas coming. Now you know Katie Chonacas. She's almost what you want to call a jack of all trades because she's a singer, actress, author, podcast, radio. She does everything, and I'm sure y'all seen her on I don't know, Law and Order, SVU, um, all those different shows. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She's coming. She's coming March 31st. Okay. So we're gonna have a good talk with Katie Chonacas. Yes, Katie's in the matter. You know, we got Sue Lundquist coming. We also got Shay Lee Gutowski. No, Shaylee, that's what is this? This is Daniel. Daniel works in home maintenance, and Shaylee contacted me and said that Daniel really had something to bring to the table. Hey, Laurie, how are you? And then on April 7th, we're going to have Rusty McDonald. She's a single mother and also a life coach and an international talk show host. Yep. And Imani Labels. We also are going to have Terry Tucker, which will be April 26th. And we'll have another motivational chat with Terry Tucker. That's it. Yes, we're doing everything. We're trying to bring in some good guests with some great topics so that we can better our lives. You know what I mean? If we can't better our lives, then we have to do it for our children or our children's children. Some of us is older. You know what I mean? I got children's children. That's grandkids. Yeah. Well, I got children's children. You know what I mean? And what happens if they have children? What happens? You know what I mean? We have to instill some things in them. We made mistakes and stuff with those kids. You know what I mean? I made mistakes with my kids. My kids made mistakes with their kids. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. There's no way that nobody does not make a mistake with in life, no matter what it is. You know what I mean? So, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? You gotta have goals. You gotta set goals. Anybody have any goals set? You know, this is a goal that I set. Oh, my anniversary is coming up. My anniversary is coming up. Okay, I've been here 1 year. 1 year. Okay, we gonna. You know what? I'm not sure the exact day, but we gonna give it. We gonna make it April 1st. 1 year. At WCMD, and I guess in that week I'm gonna have to do a special show. Why don't y'all do something for me? That's what you do. Y'all make the show special for me, okay? But no, on all seriousness, I'm gonna make the show special, some type of way, some type of way. Yeah. So I don't know. Um, you know, what it's going to be, but I'll figure something out. So, do you guys set goals? I'm waiting for the guy with the link, but I don't guess maybe he didn't get it or whatever. Let me make sure I sent it correctly. At hotmail.co. Let me hit him up in this other direction. Just actually probably forgot. Maybe he's having a problem. Okay. Well, just to let you know, he's all the way from the UK. So give him a minute. Maybe he's having problems. I'm sending out a text now. So like I said, he's a life coach and an author. So we're gonna see what book he has written. And these are people that hit me up. I want to let you know, like the guests that I'm bringing are hitting me up. I'm getting more popular. Hi, Jimmy. I would love to interview Jimmy. This saying he's written so many books, got movies. I don't know if it's still there or not. But anyway, all right. Well, while we're waiting, let's talk about this. So we said about setting goals. You know, we've said it over and over. What you're gonna do, how you set goals. You know, okay. So from which sender? It don't matter what sender. Okay, let me see. It's from reality. It should say. He's checking now, so we should get him in. So once you set your goal, uh, when to jump, he's gonna come in. Maybe somebody else's stuff went to jump too before. Why they didn't come in? All right, we're waiting. He's getting it. He found a link that it went to the junk mail, went to the spam. So anyway, he's coming in. All right. So once you set your goals, uh, what do you do then? You got your goals set. Like I said, you know, I started to set a goal to do this podcast 3 years ago. 3 years ago in my living room, I started. You know, right at the dining room table, with a little laptop, little microphone. All right. And then that's what happened. So we're going to add my man to the speed right here. Hello, how are
Hello.
you? Can you hear me?
I'm
Can
good.
you
Are
hear
you? I can indeed. Can you hear
All
me
right.
okay as well, guys?
All right. So I'm Janny Schmanny, and welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast. Um, you can introduce yourself. This is JEEVAN MATHARU. He's a life coach and an author. And he's come to inspire us with his story.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me on the podcast, first of all. So yeah, just a quick introduction, as you've said there, Janny. Author of a book called Become a Person of Value. So what I try to do with the book really is to break down personal development into a number of key areas. So, you know, you guys will know yourself that to become the best person that you can be, you need to tick a number of boxes, don't you? You know, you need
Yes.
to be in the best physical health you can, the best spiritual place that you can be. You need to be able to set goals. You need to be able to understand your own and other psychology. You need to be able to motivate yourself. So it's a book that covers all of those different chapters in one book. And really, it was just a case of me doing my own research on how to improve my own life. And I thought, well, actually, if I'm going to be doing this reading and documenting ways to improve myself, why not put that out there for everyone to benefit from as well? So that was the reason for the book. Obviously, do coaching as well on the side, based on all of that stuff there, and you know, making sure that I can help people to achieve their goals in life, really. So that's really a bit of a background to me. I hope that's what you're after, unless you want to maybe dig a bit deeper. I'm not sure exactly.
No, it's fine. That's it. That's it. That's what we're here for, you know, to reach goals and improve our lives. That's exactly what we're here for. So
Absolutely.
uh-uh. Hello. Sorry, I turned that off.
It's okay. So yeah, I mean, just on that as well. So obviously you've got a podcast. You know, one of the when people are setting out a task that they want to do. So you know, you've set up your own podcast. A lot of times people don't ask themselves the right questions. They don't ask, well, how can I reach a much larger audience? How can I add more value to the listeners? How can I improve my podcast? And actually, a lot of those answers are deep within yourself, and you actually know those answers yourself. And it's about, as I said, being in the right spiritual place to be able to meditate, to draw those answers out of you, and really put those ideas forward. And you know, everyone's in as you said, everyone's in a position where they want to improve. If you look at other species of animal, including if you want to put trees and plants into that as well, they always grow to the best of their ability, don't they? You know, a tree will grow as tall as it can. Humans don't tend to do that. You know, they smoke weed, they drink, they smoke cigarettes, they go out and eat cheap meat, and etc., etc., etc. And then they realise deep down that they've got this sort of unhappiness within them and low self-esteem. So if we can maybe sort those bits out, and improve our self-esteem, we'll get a better spouse. We'll have, you know, a higher chance of having children who will then respect us more. So for me, it just starts at that one. You know, that's really the bedrock of having a better life. Really, is yourself. You know, you hold the master key to your own future. Really.
Exactly. So it's all about being more aware of what you're doing and what, you know, like before you came on, we was talking about goal setting. So, like if you set out to be this great person, I guess that's going to help, you know, the people that surround you once they, you know, they're seeing how you're doing. But I don't think that you can get to that if you don't get any better. You know, so with these podcasts and the things that you're saying and all my other guests, I've been working on myself. So that's why I decided, you know, to make the podcast goal of, you know, just bringing awareness to, you know, the whole entire empathy of the world, if I can, you know, starting with my community.
This is it, and you've got some really good energy about you. I think personally, you know, you've got a really good positive attitude, and you project well. And again, with your podcast, we'll just use that as an example because it's something that you've built.
Thank you.
When in order to actually design something and build something, you have to finish it in your own mind first. Now you might be thinking, well, that sounds a little bit strange. You know, how do you finish something before you start it? It's like if you're so the house that you live in, whether you rent it, whether you own it, or whether you've got a mortgage on it. That house was designed in the mind of an architect first. Yeah, it was then written down on a blueprint. It was then put forward to the builder. Yeah, and then the builder built it. Okay, so you know once something's built in the mind first, it can then be developed and brought into manifestation. So this comfort level podcast, you know, that was something that you thought of before. You worked out how you're going to work the podcast, what sort of demographic you're aiming for, what your major mission statement is, and how you can actually develop that. And obviously over time, you know, those goals will change and you will maybe adapt based on how things are going economically, how your readers and listeners have put back ideas. And as you said, it's about improving the community around you first before you can do anything else. Improve yourself, improve the community. One other point on that as well, on the community side.
Okay, wait a minute. Before you go in there, I'm going to introduce you. This is my partner, Papers. This is Mr. JEEVAN MATHARU.
Hello,
hey,
lovely to meet you.
MATHARU. What's going on?
Yeah, lovely to meet you. I'm really good, man.
Good to meet you, and I'm looking forward to the things that you have to say.
Thank you, mate. I'm looking forward to sharing some love and being on your podcast.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Just wanted you to think it was, you know, so yeah, just popped in.
But this is your team, isn't it? You know, so you know it's you know you're all walking in the same direction. You've got common goals, and you know you'll bounce ideas off each other, and it's the mastermind principle. I think from I don't know if you have read the book Think and Grow Rich. by
Now,
Napoleon Hill. So what it says in there, and it's a really good book, and I would recommend everyone to read it, is that it says that when two people come together, they create an invisible third mind. And you guys will probably know this yourself, that when you're with certain people, you have a different connection with than two other people. When you're with someone else,
yeah,
you have different ideas. And when you're with one, Mr. Smith, you have a different train of thought than when you're with Mrs. Jones. Yeah. And
right.
that's what's called the mastermind principle. When a connection happens together and you bounce ideas off each other. It's why with big businesses, they have a team and room full of people. So they've got 10 or 15 brains working together that, work in the same direction to create an idea and build from that idea and look at it from different angles, because everyone's different. There are 16 personality types as per the Myers-Briggs Index. You get the architects, you get the entertainers, you get the advocates, which are the counsellors, etc., etc., etc. And if you put all of those people in the room, they will look at things differently. You get some more extroverted, some more introverted guys. You'll get some that look at what they feel, some are thinkers. So you really get to improve on your position by utilising all of those personality types.
That's dope.
Yeah, like, I mean,
Well, we always
that's
known that when you bring two people together, two minds is always better than one. You feel what I'm saying? So, like you said, it brings that invisible mind, to the set, and that's just the actual two minds working together, creating one. Which brings that third personality that when two people are infused together, this is what they create. So,
But this is it, and just on what you said, you put that really eloquently there. Is that two minds are better than one? I think you said that's a very historic phrase, and these historic phrases are based on real things. Phrases aren't just sort of plucked out of the air willy nilly. They usually, anyway, not always, have a backstory to them and a real understanding, and that's really where that's come from as well.
Yeah, I actually it's called the Book of Dictionary of it's the dictionary of origin words, like where they came from.
The
So like
etymology,
the
the
word
etymology.
cheeseburger it means something. It came from a king who used to say cheeseburger, and you know what I mean. So certain words were coined by certain people. You got to know the origin of it. You know what I mean. So
Yeah,
it's good to find out the origin of words.
Yeah, so you get dictionaries, you get thesaurus, and you get an etymology book, and that's what that book that you're referring to is the etymology. So it's the history of the word and where that is. It come from Latin, does it come from Germanic languages, etc., and then the meaning behind that word. One word that I like the etymology of is sport. The word sport, comes from the French meaning desporter, and it means to pull you away from activities or more serious activities. Okay, so for me, that's really got two connotations. One is that sport was put there, like the Romans, when they put gladiators in front of the crowd to allow them to control the masses in Rome. So the sport of one of the, that's the first one, is that it's there to control the masses, sport. And the second is that it helps you to clear your mind from your own issues. So again, prying you away from more serious matters. So that's where the etymology of that word comes from.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really dissected any words
Like I would have never known that.
lately. Sometimes I do, but lately I haven't dissected.
Would you want to know where all the words come from? Because you go back to the book of the Straw Man. The Straw Man tells you a lot of names of American words that actually mean Latin. So it means like a totally different thing, like commerce and
we're not even using them.
Company and different words like that. That's English really have totally different meanings. You know what I mean? And see, when people talk things, they say you can talk things into existence. So they say, watch what you say, because you don't know where that word came from or know the meaning. So you could be speaking something into your life that you have no idea, but you thought it was something like, just wrong, like the word wrong. We don't know where wrong came from, where it could have come. We don't know. So when we going around saying, hey, you're wrong for this, you're wrong for that, you're wrong for that, we could be saying things that we don't even know the real meaning behind the word. So, it's
Yeah, but
best
it's why it's called spelling, because
right.
you're putting a spell on people with what you say.
Now, I love your wall of books. Like, have you read every book that's up there?
I wish, mate.
Nah,
I wish.
'cause
No.
I have like the same study behind me or whatnot at my house, and my my baby mother, she's read every book.
Does she really? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
like a
reading's
total.
fantastic.
Yeah, they read
Reading's
every book.
fantastic. I think, and again, just to put it into perspective, really, let's say that you've gone through your life of 90 years and you've learned a lot of stuff. Yeah, you've learned how
Mhm.
to raise kids, how to raise grandkids. Let's say you've learned how to find your real purpose in the world. You've realized how taxes work. As someone who has just come into the world, why would you not learn or try to learn the mistakes they've already
Right.
made? Because then
Right.
it helps you to speed up your progress. So instead of me developing my own time management skills and visualization techniques and ways to improve myself, let's say, I mean, there will be some
Study it
new ways you
4,000
can do
of
it,
them.
but why would you not look at the
Right.
books that someone's already spent hours and hours and hours researching and putting together? Yeah. So, it's just a collation. Books are a collation of information that
Mhm.
give you a perspective that the author is trying to put forward. So even my book, as an example, well, majority of the things out that I've put in the book are from sources, but they have been put in a way that makes it very clear for someone to understand. Look, these are the things that you need to improve your life. Set goals. Yeah. Improve your physical specimen, because obviously that improves your health, which improves your mental strength. How are you going to motivate yourself? How are you going to how are you going to improve your own psychology? How can you improve your communication skills? Do you understand how finances work? Savings, investments, interest. All of those things are really putting
Yeah,
together. Those things create your best purpose. And
and stability too.
yeah, I'm sorry.
The
I said, and
purpose.
stability, because by
Yes,
knowing all those things, like you create like this surface around you that's really like unbreakable. Like it'd be hard for you to like fall in an economy because you've studied all these notions, and you kept these things
Like
together and kept
fewer
them in mind, and you
mistakes.
used them in the right way. So yeah, right. So you're less likely to make more mistakes. You're less likely to make fewer mistakes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
I
you
mean,
learn. You acquired all this stuff, and once you acquired all this stuff, then you have the knowledge of it, so you have to act upon it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? So and
exactly.
apply it.
Unless you
A lot of the
just.
time, it's just mentality.
Yeah.
It's not what happens to you; it's how you view things
Mhm.
that's important. So, Jim Rohn, I'm not sure if you're familiar with who he was, but he had a mentor, and the
Okay.
mentor said, "Well, why aren't you doing very well in life?" And he says, "Come back to me with the list, and we'll go through the list." So he goes away, and he comes back with the government are out to me. Yeah, the
Yeah.
government are out to get me. My taxes are too high. Um, my manager's not paying me enough. The economy's bad, etc., etc., etc. He takes a list back to his mentor, and his mentor says, "There's only one problem with your list. You're not on it." Because if
Mm.
you think of today, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos have got the same issues we have. The economy, yeah, they've got the issues with taxation. They've got the COVID situation. They've got the Ukraine situation, Russia situation. So it's not what's happening, because it happens to everyone. It's how you're dealing with those things that separates the men from the boys.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's how you
He's
deal with it.
right.
It's how you deal with it. It's your approach,
How you do
because
it.
someone's perception
Just
of
like
something,
his,
it could be
just like
totally
the
different.
COVID.
And
Yeah,
and I try to tell people too, like you have to check all variables when you look at things. Check all variables. Don't just be stuck on one thing. Like, oh well, this is what it meant. This is what I thought it meant. But then you never take the perspective of what the person actually meant. From whatever they gave you the knowledge, or if you got the knowledge from a book or whatever. Always
yeah,
look at it in 3 or 4 or 5 different ways, because don't just take one thing like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. The grass may be greener on the other side, but no, think, why is the grass greener on the other side? Could there be
yeah,
a possibility that the ground underneath, the dirt underneath is the best agricultural dirt that there could be. You know what I mean? So that's why things grow differently on that side of the earth than it does on this side. So you have to look at it from a different angle. And if you
Yeah.
don't, you always be stuck on one thing, then you always humble yourself to one thing, and then you'll never grow.
Yeah, so a couple of examples on that. Number one is 50 Cent. So he was shot 9 times or something, and he's turned it around from there to have a successful career.
Right.
Second one I would say on that is that there's a story about the Acres of Diamonds, if you're familiar with the Acres of Diamonds. So the Acres of Diamonds was a story where some guy really wanted to find diamonds everywhere. Yeah. So what happened is he ended up selling his farm to go out and find diamonds elsewhere. He later killed himself because he didn't find any diamonds. And the guy who bought his ranch actually found that he had the biggest diamond mine in that country, basically. So sometimes you've got to look within yourself first before you move on. And where that leads me on to is that everyone is jealous of you. So, people are jealous of you. You might think, well, they're not. You live in the USA, correct? Yeah. The people who live in Afghanistan or wherever are jealous because you live in the States. There might be someone who is 5 foot tall and they want to be 6 foot tall, and they're jealous of you in that way. You have a podcast. Some people haven't even started a podcast and they want a podcast. So someone's always going to be jealous of you, and you're always going to have jealousy towards other people. And jealousy is a terrible trait. I'm not saying that anyone should be jealous. It's a natural tendency. Yeah. So from there, we need to be grateful for what we've got. I own my own house. I've got a car. I've got a dog, and I work as a coach, and I've written. I'm grateful for those things because other people would be jealous of those because they don't even own a car, or they don't even drive, or they rent and they don't own the house. So you've got to be grateful before you can be blessed with anything else in life. I'm a strong believer.
That's right.
Yeah. Now tell the people how some people that might not know how to look within themselves to find themselves or figure out what their purpose is or anything like that. So could you give a way whereas though somebody could be able to find their inner self by soul searching? How do they go about that? What's the
process? Okay, so there's a couple of things. Firstly, just on that is that I'm writing a second book that is going to be complete within the next few months, and that is really to help people to do that. So it's a question a day, a very deep question. So the first day it might be, well, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? And then it's going to give you a page to write down where you want to be in 5 years' time, and it's going to give you pointers in how to help you to articulate that answer. Next day it might be, well, what change could I make today that's going to improve me next year?
Oh, decent. So you wrote a book for people to write in and observe themselves and write it down. So in that way, you build a catalog of themselves, and then later they could go back and look at that book and say, "Damn, I didn't even know that I was even
building them. It's building them and shaping them
basically
making
them give themselves
the answers. Yeah, because the answers are within you. Only you know where you want to be in 5 years. You could ask me, JEEVAN, please tell me where to be in 5 years. Well, I might say you need to go and live in Canada, and you'll be like, well, I don't even like Canada. I don't want to live in Canada. I want to stay exactly where I am, but I want to change the job that I do. I want to change the city that I live in. I want to change how athletic I am. I want to add another hobby to my position. So that's where the book is to help people, really. And to answer your question off the back of that, that's what people need to do. They need to ask themselves the right questions, and they will get the right answers. So, that's really where I come as a coach as well, is to help people to understand themselves a bit better, and answer those questions.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it. You're the coach, so you are opportunity. You are the one that's taking them to the Super Bowl. You're the winner. You're the one that has the key to success, and you're just unlocking these people key to success. That's what people got to understand about being a coach. And you guys keep on a whole big, they look at you like you're down here, but for real, you're over top of all that because you put all the pieces to the puzzle. You are what you could say was a person who dealt with puzzles back in the day. So when they look at you when you turn 25, your logic is that you're a thinker. Problem solver, this is what people, right? Okay. So, all right, get it. So now, what I was saying was right. So, right, you got it. It's down pat.
The thing is, with a coach, I'm just going to take a slightly different stance on that. A lot of the time, the coaches are overvalued as well.
Okay.
Because you can look at it in both ways. You can say, oh, it's just the coach who has taken this side to success. But it's actually not the case. The coach has just got a way of getting the best out of the people that are actually doing the jobs. So, if you're a businessman, yes, the coach's job is absolutely incredible, but they have just found a way to get the best out of the people that are working in those jobs. So basketball, for example, you could take the same team with one coach and with another coach, and the results will be very different. And yes, the coach is the only different piece, but he's managed to get an extra % or 2% or 5% from those people that play in that team. And that's really a credit to the coach, but it's also a credit to the players because they already had that in them. It was just, as you said, unlocking that from that player. And you've got the actual the basketballer in that particular case has got to take the credit as well, because he's the one that's got those physical attributes. He's the one that's actually shooting those hoops, and the coach is just a wingman for him, really, to help him to achieve his major success. And look, as a leader,
it's like Siri on the app when you're trying to get around town.
It's the GPS.
Exactly. Yeah, but look, as a leader, you should be crediting others, even if you were the main reason why, and you should always be taking the blame for their mistake. That's a real leader. You see these fake leaders in the news blaming everyone else for their mistake, and then them taking credit for something they didn't do. That is not a leader. That is not a coach. That is not someone you want to associate yourself with.
Dang. You get that?
Yeah, I got it. I'm taking everything in. I'm taking everything in. A lot of this, like, I'm glad you hear it. Put it that way. I ain't even going to say that I know it, because I'm a little older, so.
It's never too late to change. Do you know Colonel Sanders, KFC guy?
Okay.
Yeah, so he obviously went through his whole life not knowing his purpose. I'm a strong believer that everyone has a purpose. If you look at a seed for a tree, it's a very little seed, isn't it? And it grows into something. That information was already stored within you. It's for us as human beings, we need to understand what type of seed we are, because we're a lot more complex than a tree. Yeah, a tree just grows and sort of stays there. We need to work out personality types, what goals we want to set, what we want to leave in terms of a legacy, etc. So you're never too old. KFC guys, so coming back to the point, Colonel Sanders, until 65, he wasn't doing anything with his life. At 65, he made KFC. Okay.
Yeah.
And now KFC sells the most chicken in the world of any fast food retailer.
Well, and it's a story behind that too, because
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, I know.
It wasn't his chicken.
Yeah, well, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He was still.
No, I know it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, taking somebody else's idea and turning it into a gem. I think about that a lot, because you can take somebody else's dream and take it to a whole nother level. And maybe it wasn't never for you. Maybe it was for you to start, and then for that person to take off and take it to where it needs to go.
That's exactly the way I feel. It's meant to be. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's like there's
not Tupac. Tupac said, "I'll be the mind to spark someone else's mind," didn't he?
No, I love that. How did you even? Why would you even think of that? Like, I love that part. Like that part. That one state, like all the things he said in all his career and everything right there. Everything that is his phenomenal bars and the way he put things, and because he was a writer, because it wasn't even bars, he was writing.
Poet, he was a poet.
Writing. So the way that one statement stuck out to me more than anything else he ever said. Yo, 100%. I don't care if they don't hit me. I will spark, as long as I spark the mind of one person. I said, wow, and I got it right there. I said, "Pop, you sparked me," and I just took it. I ran with it. But that one statement stood out more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? And why is that? Tell them.
Yeah, because when something is, two things. Number one is the reason that something resonates with people is because it's the truth. Yeah, and it's a real powerful truth. So for him, that was true to him. He's saying, look, I don't want to change the world. I just want to be the thing that changes the person that will change the world. That is so powerful because it's very unselfish.
Right.
And what I said earlier with, you want to take the credit for things and stuff like that. He's saying, look, I don't even want the credit. I just want to give someone the confidence, to be able to change things. And for me, Tupac is very
He even said
inspirational
it.
character.
He said the songs that I write, they don't come from me, they come from God. I'm on God's plan. And this
Exactly.
he said whether it's thug music, whatever, straight music, whatever, he said it's from God. He's like, this is what God wanted me to do, and I'm here to fulfill whatever he needed me to do, and then I'm going.
But him and Biggie were very different because Tupac had a lot of God within his songs in terms of like what he was trying to put forward, whereas Biggie was more like
the street rapper.
Yeah, Hail Mary, slap that bitch in the face and take a gold necklace and her handbag and all that sort of stuff, and like he didn't really have the
he took stupidity and raised the bar on it, and like made it hot. You know what I mean? Like stupid words, words made him hot. So that's where his credit it lies at, and it was real dope and copacetic too.
I mean his delivery was the best though. Biggie's delivery, like how crisp he was when he rapped, it was crisper than Tupac, but Tupac has got a lot more songs, more quality, I think, as well, and the actual underlying message. As you said, he was a writer and a poet, not just good delivery on his bars, really. So there's a crucial difference there between, I think, personally.
Right, absolutely. Like his words go back to what we talked about before. His words meant more than one thing.
Yeah,
it was you know what I mean? It was more to it than just because he was a poet, and you had to look at all variables on what he was saying, to understand. So yeah, man. It's real.
And this is the thing that the kids don't understand now. I don't know how old you are, but I'm in my 30s at the minute, so I was, sort of in that generation. Whereas some of the music now is just so bad.
It is
terrible.
It is. I still listen to old school music still to this day. I mean, I'm 39. I'll be 40 next year, but that's my era, and it's like the music nowadays is crazy. I think the only one that's really like doing something and being meaningful about it is Kendrick Lamar. And,
Kendrick Lamar's got bars,
You know what I mean?
J. Cole.
And J. Cole. And I think the only person that's really like doing it on a like balanced level is that's doing great is Tory Lanez.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm a big lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you a little story, quite funny actually. So I did A-level maths. Sorry, A-level. Well, I didn't A-level English. Sorry, is where I'm going with this. So at the time, I was very hip hop focused. Yeah, so hip hop was this is rap and Eminem and Immortal Technique, etc. So for my A-levels, I did a comparison of the linguistic relation or the linguistic difference between Eminem No Apologies, because obviously Eminem's very lyrically high level, isn't it? Using multis, syllables and iambic pentameter and metaphors and the lot. Very nice and easy. And then they also used Dancing with the Devil, Immortal Technique, if you're familiar with that song.
Yeah.
It's not a very nice song in terms of how the story goes, William and his mom and all that. But I did both of those. And if you actually look at the intricacies of the words they use and how they construct the poem, basically, which it is, it's very, very high level intellectually. If you look at some of the words now, it's like, I took a bat and I saw a cat. It's just very simple. And I think that's, you can see that throughout society as well, the dumbing of society. And it comes from a lot of different things. And I think music is definitely one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you gotta reach different aspects, you know what I mean? Because if you don't challenge the mind, you know what I mean, and get the gears going and show some type of adversity, the mind is stay stuck. And it'll be stuck on the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You got to get outside of the box you see. You know what I mean? Stand on top of the box. Don't be in the box. Sit on the top. Get outside. Like, find out what's going on. Learn a little bit more. Reach a little bit deeper. Tell yourself that man, you know what? That was weak. Let me come a little bit harder. Let me make it where as though they can't understand, or I should make them understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
It's like with bench press. If you don't bench press, your chest gets weaker naturally. Same,
right,
most people don't want to exercise their mind. They want to put on Netflix on TV. They want to
right.
listen to shit music, basic
So
stuff.
now the new thing that I'm doing now is called I'm doing now with my music, with my hooks and stuff. It's called reformation.
Yeah, cool. And how's that going
Reformation.
so far?
And people don't know what that is, and it can go over their head a lot. You
What
know what I
is it?
mean?
But the thing is though, you've got to look at what your demographic is. If you're going,
Mhm.
as I said, society's dumbed down massively now.
Yeah.
The run in the mill character is very out of touch with reality in a lot of sense. So if you're going for this high level stuff, you've got to understand the demographic is going to be smaller. It's going to be more niche market. You're going to maybe not send to as many people or not speak to as many people, but that you're going to resonate, as Tupac said. You might only spark that one mind. It might only touch a few people, but as long as it touches the right people, I think that's the main thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely the main. Definitely. But yeah, man. So a lot of reformation. I'm putting a lot of that into the hooks nowadays, because I'm trying to like put a spin on it. Whereas though I'm still like dumbing it down, but then lifting it up, lifting the
Yeah.
vibrations up inside of the song, like to tweak it so then they could be like, but it's still catchy at the same time.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But then
Yeah,
I'm adding,
100%.
the substance, but it's just the substance in which, you know what formation is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking what they used against us and making it right.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know what I mean? So it's kind of dope. Like, it's kind of dope, and the way that I'm bringing it is real dope, because I'm a poet. Like Tupac, so I could dig deep or
You're
whatever.
gonna be
But
successful because again, another thing that came from the Think and Grow Rich book is it says that the reason that you have an idea is because you can accomplish it. Whether you do or not is a separate thing, because you have to do the self-improvement and actually be 100% focused. You have these ideas because you can fulfill them, and you've started this reformation style music, and the reason that you've thought of that is because you want to, and you can, and you will achieve the results that you're after. And as I said earlier, you have to finish something in the mind before you start it, and you've already thought in your mind what style and what you want to put forward, and now you started that journey. Even if you go through bad spells where you get bad comments, you get negative feedback, sometimes they're tests to see how much you want what you want. Yeah. Tupac had negative comments. Cristiano Ronaldo, footballer, has negative comments. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like some of the major basketball players. People say, "Oh, he's better Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or whoever else." People get
I told
haters. The bigger you are, the more haters you have.
right, absolutely. Because like I turned around, I told him, I said, this is how when I said, I'm riding through your city, getting busy, boy, making plenty noise. We the product you invented, boy. Hey, let's take them shackles off, cut them chains loose. We the bishop on the horse who got the juice. Now here you go. Now this is how I say it. Now I dumb it down so people could, you know what I mean? So I'll be like, I'm riding through your city, getting busy, boy, making plenty noise. We the product you invented, boy. Hey, let's take the shackles off, cut the chains loose. We the bishop on the horse who got the juice. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I make
new style, sort of slower with and not so much speed within the bars. Basically, is what you're saying.
right. So
Yeah.
like I bring it down.
Yeah,
I put a little down south spin on it with the boy, and
like
they used
TI,
to always,
like the TI
boy,
style.
get your boy from down there, boy. So then I use that boy. We the product you invented, boy. You know what I'm saying? Because now what we doing after all those years, now look at us. We what you invented. So they wonder what the hell is going on with the black community. We what you invented a long time ago.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So now what we doing? We riding through your city, getting busy, boy, making plenty noise. You invented, boy. Hey, let's take them shackles off, cut them chains loose. We the product, and we the bishop on the horse who got the juice. So it was dope because I was going to bring it and say that I was bishop with the juice, and my girl was like, no. She was like, you more in depth, like take that a little bit deeper. And I was like, all right, how? So I was sat back and I was like, oh, okay. We the bishops on the horse, like I'm playing chess. We the bishops on the horse who got the juice. Because who's the dangerous piece on the board? It's the knight. It's the most dangerous piece on the board. A lot of you not. On the chessboard, the knight is considered the most dangerous piece.
But it depends on what you mean by that, because the queen is the most powerful, but the bishop
most powerful, but the most dangerous.
Like
is
the L
move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How it
just gets you randomly, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then you hit it from different ways. Boy, it makes a complete plus sign. If you ever look at it, it makes a complete plus sign in a circle. And it's the most, and people don't look at it like that. It actually makes a complete plus sign. But you know, it's the most dangerous piece on the board, besides the queen being the most powerful. But the king has to always protect the queen, and you never put your queen in front of your king. And you know, it's just a whole bunch of you never put your king in front of your queen. It's just like a whole bunch of stuff like you got to do it. You do about it. It's both ways, but
100%. Because
it's complicated, but you understand what I'm saying.
Because with the knights, they move in a way that no other piece can move. No other piece can do the L shape basically, and that's what makes them devastating for people who miss them and they say, "Oh yeah, you know, I can see that I'm in like I'm protected from the queen, the bishop, the rooks, etc., the pawns." But people always forget, as you said, about the knights.
Yeah,
but at the end of the game, they all go in the same box.
Yes, I pasted this on the exact same phrase I posted on one of my Instagrams the other day. The king and the pawn go back in the same box after the game. Love it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And but this, do you know that's got more than one meaning though? That's got more than one meaning for me though.
That's what I'm saying.
One is that everyone dies, and you go back in the same box. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The second meaning, which for me is quite a good one, is that you want to end your life before you go back in the box as a king or a queen, though, rather than a pawn.
Wow.
I just figured that if they all go back in the same box, they all go back from start because you had to pull out from the box even to begin.
Yeah, but humans have two deaths. Tupac's not dead yet because he still lives. His name and his legacy still lives. Whereas if you're Mr. Smith and you're a pawn and you go back in your box, that's it. As soon as your immediate family dies, no one remembers you anymore. Michael Jackson, he's not dead either yet.
Nope.
Plato, like these philosophers are not dead yet. So that's why you want to end up a king or a queen and leave a legacy.
Yeah, they leave a legacy in which therefore I will still be in your life. I will still, resonate through your life because I will still be here because I built something that'll live long and you'll be able to study years down the line. I want them to study my music like they study Pac. I swear, man, because it's like it's dope to be like put on a pedestal. Like, damn, like Paper's music is still here, like, and we studying it and trying to understand what he was saying, and because I have this thing where me and my baby mother, she's very intelligent. Used to work for President Bush. Did foreign exchange at the Pentagon or whatnot. So it speaks 4 different languages. She's very, very freaking smart. So I have to come in there and and I'll go and I'll be like, babe, what you think of this? And then I'll say it, and she'll be like, why would you do that to me? You know that I know what you're talking about. Might not know. So what I did was I challenged her one time, and I had pulled something out of the hat, and I swear I thought she was going to get it, and I was like, man, and I gave it to her. It was something about the Mariana Trench or whatnot. You know what I mean? And you know how they say all the alien fish is in the Mariana Trench because it's the deepest part of the ocean. And why does everything go to the Mariana Trench that comes out of the atmosphere, falls down into the Mariana Trench? That's where they have a lot of alien fishes at. Because it's deep in the Mariana Trench, because it's the deepest part of the earth. The people can't go down there. So she didn't get it. What I had said on it, and I felt proud. I was like, yeah, I finally told her. You know, and
Because
she didn't
you're
even know.
the
And
bishop on the
the
night,
thing
mate.
about it was we had just talked about the Mariana Trench the other day, which was crazy. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna just flip it on her and give it to her. And she was stumped. And she was like, wow, I couldn't get that. And I was like,
You
yeah,
couldn't
I
get it
told you.
because you're the bishop on the night.
Right, you the bishop on the horse who got the Jews. I know that's right. But yeah, man. So it for me, it's a challenge, and it's always a damn good one. You know, because I always put myself at a challenge in life, and I think that everyone should do it. Everyone should challenge themselves. If you do something the next day, try to top what you did. You know what I mean?
You've got to be outside
Like,
your comfort zone.
right. Like,
Because if you're
never
in your
make
comfort
like
zone, if you never got out your comfort zone, you'd still be living in the cot at your mum's house.
right. How do you think 50 Cent came out with the best album ever?
Get
The
Rich or Die
best
Trying.
album ever. I think, to me personally, Get Rich or Die Trying was one of the best albums.
Yeah,
It's one of like my top 5.
Yeah, that's
albums.
one of the top 5. I like Dr. Dre 2001.
You know what I'm saying?
A few
Yeah.
Eminem one.
Oh,
few
no,
of the
no,
early
no.
Eminem ones.
Hold on. Before you get into that Dr. Dre album, that was dope. But
Ghost
you want to
Written.
know
Yeah,
who
Ghost
wrote the
Written.
Chronic?
Yeah,
You know who
Jay-Z.
wrote the Chronic?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z wrote the whole Chronic.
Yeah.
He wrote the Chronic. That was crazy. The
Yeah,
fact that that let me know that I could be a down south person and I could give different flows and give it to him. You know what I mean? And
what were we talking about earlier with the KFC thing as well?
Right.
Same thing. Sometimes, you know, who gets the credit for something is not necessarily the person who put in the groundwork. Always.
Right. And you wonder why he's still a billionaire, because
that's it.
Look what he did. Look at the things that he did under the covers that nobody knew about.
That's it.
Which,
that's what I mean. Because to him, he doesn't need to take the credit necessarily. I know that everyone knows that he, you know, wrote the album, but you know, on the face of it, doesn't look like that, does it? So
right, it doesn't. But all this stems back to everything that you said. Is about resonating things from your own mind and making it happen. You are your worst enemy, and you can be your best enemy too. You know,
yeah.
your best
I got asked this question once. You can either have so you know, you with 7 women today, yeah, and they've all come back to your hotel. You can either like sleep with all of them, and everyone thought that you didn't. Or you could not sleep with them all, and everyone else thought that you did. So when you ask someone this question, it really shows you who they are. Because if you were to say, I don't care if people know, at least I know what happened that night, yeah? Whereas other people are like, I'd rather not, so long as I'm the big boy and people thought that, you know, I did do it. Who are you trying to please? Are you trying to please other people, or are you trying to please yourself? Yeah? Right. And for me, when people say that I'd rather not do it as long as people thought I did, that just shows you're thin-skinned, you're weak, and you'd rather please other people than actually experience something yourself.
Right.
Does that make sense? And there's too many fake people like that out, and it just winds me up.
That shit makes total sense. Like, I'd rather do it, and then, you know what I'm saying, and not care if they even thought I did it, or if they did know I did it. You know what I'm saying? I know I did it.
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, with 7, you know. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? And that goes with anything. You walk into you work into a room and you got a deal to make. You want this 7 million, or you gonna walk out of there broke again? You know what I'm saying? That whether they know that you did it or not, I know I'm gonna walk out rich, but you know, they gonna know I did it because I'm gonna go do me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I got.
It's like when P. Diddy was on the phone. I don't know if you've seen the video of him when he went mental on the phone when he did his first deal. I think it was P. Diddy.
Oh shit! Oh, that you talking about when it was back in the day, John, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's on the phone, and he come off the phone and he smashed the phone down onto its onto the number.
That was out of the movie,
yeah. And like the energy of that, I think that's a good energy. You know, when you're like, I'm going to do anything. The hunger, you know, you've got to be hungry enough to actually want to achieve something. Yeah, you know, you've got to set your goals and have an ambition, but you've got to have the desire and discipline to actually go through that. Like, I was very undisciplined when I was younger. I got thrown out of school.
Well, hold on. What does illicit mean? I never heard that.
Undisciplined.
Huh?
Undisciplined, not disciplined.
Oh, undisciplined.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
undisciplined when I was younger. So I
That's
got
good.
I got thrown out of
That's what
school,
we need to try to
and
do
stuff like that. I went to private. I went into private school. Got thrown out of there. But what you have to realize is, just because you're, you've got an idea, you're intelligent and stuff, you have to be able to put that into practice. And unless you're willing to get up in the morning and go for, so let's say you could be a boxer, yeah, you've got the skills to, to box. Unless you're willing to go the rounds every day and do the running and do the exercise, doesn't matter how much you sit there and think, oh, I'm going to become a boxer, you're never going to do it. So you've got to have the daily routines. If you want to write a book by the end of the year, 365 pages, you need to write a page a day. People get overwhelmed and say, oh, a book's too hard. If you break it down into your daily tasks, that's it. Like when you write a song, you'll probably write a few lines a day, or, I don't know what your process is, but you'll have your own little process to ensure that, you've written the song, then you'll have it checked by someone else, then you'll have, the beat, and then you have someone, change the beat, maybe speed things up or slow it down. You might change a few of the phrases. You might add another bar in somewhere. Things have to adapt, and it's important that you have a process, really.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's what you call a mental process. and a process always is supposed to be done, because that's just like HVAC. It has to be a process in order to do HVAC. Or if you mess up the process or you try to cut corners, then everything goes to sham, and you don't want things to go to sham. So you have to follow the process. It's always a process. The way you did it before, do it like that the next day until you get a roadblock, and then you have to change up or something like that. Until that comes, don't change up what you're doing. Just continue to still do what you do, because it's working for you, until it don't work no more. Then you got to change up. Then you go ahead and do it another way.
But sometimes
the process.
There was the Stoics, the philosophers, Stoic philosophy. So Plato and Epictetus. So you probably will know a lot of Greek philosophy. They said when there's an obstacle in the way, that is the way to go. Because sometimes, if you're always going to veer clear of the obstacles, you're never going to go anywhere. You're going to go in a circle, because there's going to be some obstacles at some point. So sometimes it's a case of going over the obstacle and seeing what's on the other side.
Right.
But life's a journey, mate. And look, we're all here to fulfill a purpose. Life isn't always. There's not always a meaning to life. We sometimes get asked what our meaning for life is. So we have to put a meaning on that.
Yeah. Well, it's all about starting. You know what I mean? A lot of people have things inside them, but they just never start. You know what I mean? They just
starting 50% of it. 50%.
That's
50%. You started. It's 50. It's the biggest. It's 50% of it. Because once you've started, your commitment, you're committed. Yeah, you're committed, because you've taken.
It's the in between. It's the in between. It's the in between that people have to worry about, and have to know that either it's a struggle and you're gonna make it, or it's a struggle and you're gonna lose. So
that's the discipline where the thing comes in.
You could start and you could finish. You know what I mean? Any day, because you could start and you could quit, or you could start and finish the whole thing.
Or you could finish badly, But I mean, when he says the in between, that's the listening and the learning part, and then there's the implementing.
Yeah, I mean, doing something badly is still better than not doing something.
Yeah.
Because you learn from it.
That just goes back to knowledge before speech and action. You have to have the knowledge, and then you obtain the speech to talk about it, and then then you have to act upon it. You know what I mean? That's from that's from a law, but a lot of people don't. It's good.
Very well put there.
But it's something that I stand by.
From your song.
No, it's not from my song. It's from a law. It's from the book of
Singing your song.
Yeah, I do say it in my song, knowledge before speech and action, order of the word.
But that's because we've got the knowledge, and he's speaking. He's giving the speech first. That's why.
Yeah, and then once I do that, I have to fund it, because
deep.
I would be fake I would be fake if I didn't stand behind my own word, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep
What's the
shit.
name of that song?
Absolutely. You know
What's
what
the
I'm saying?
name of that song?
Rough and Rugged.
All right.
That's called Rough and Rugged. But yeah, man. So that was a breakdown. I like that, man. It's always good to have these intellectual conversations because you take what does it say? You take an hour out your day. That's all you need is an hour out your day to do anything. If you dedicate an hour of your day to anything that you want to do, you're going to succeed. If you want to dedicate an hour of your day to praying, 5 minutes, 20 minutes each prayer, boom, boom, 5 prayers, you got it. If you want to dedicate an hour to, whatever it is, your studies, anything, all it takes is 1 hour out your day, and it's 24 hours in a day.
Hour makes a difference, massive difference.
It does.
And the way to get an hour free of charge sometimes is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So if you're driving to work, so if you're in LA, for example, and you've got this traffic, most people listen to something unproductive, like the same songs that they've been listening to for over and over on repeat, the same shit songs that we talked about. Why not listen to a new song, something different? Why not listen to a podcast such as this that you're learning something valuable from? Why not listen to learn a language, listen to an audiobook? These are the things that hour's already being used. Why not use that hour as well? As I said, to get something valuable. Like I'm sure this conversation, I'm sure there's loads of listeners who have got huge value from this. Why not listen to something like this a bit more than you normally do, instead of the same songs that you listen to? Because that's the value that you're going to get that will improve yourself moving forward. And instead of going home and thinking, oh, well, I've got to get an hour in here somewhere. If you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, that's the dream.
And that's the type of stuff that we're trying to get through to, our viewers and our community, just starting here. Why not, do something better than your time, like social media is huge, and you see a lot of people on social media, like every day you see them, they post 20 jokes. But you could be like posting something like, just like you said, you posted that as a motivational quote.
But there's as I said earlier, there's loads of personality types there, you see, and actually on social media there's only really 2 types, and this has come from Gary Vee, and I sort of agree with this to an extent. There's either entertainment or education. So those people are doing the jokes and putting music on and comedy and these stupid pranks on each other. And all these games, they're on the entertainment side. So there's nothing wrong with that, because everyone needs entertainment, yeah? But you also need more education. And there's not enough of that in my book, in my view, on the internet to help people. There's too much of the entertainment side and maybe not enough education. And actually, like you guys, trying to integrate those 2 together, entertainment and education at once is a really good idea.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of voices out here. A lot of people that's doing stuff, and it's easy. I mean, it's not all that easy, but
No, it's not.
easy to bring somebody on and just listen to learn. You know what I mean? That's mostly, what I would like to do. Even if you don't have a lot of comments or whatever. When I go back and I look at the algorithms and the stats, it shows me that people have watched, so we're getting something. We're touching at least one person.
To that phrase,
At least one person out of the hundreds that watch.
I mean, this is it, and this is what we talked about earlier with the Tupac phrase, which I love. As you said, one of my favorite of his phrases.
I just was thinking about that.
The one person. That's it. That's all you want. Just the one. That's all it is. Just one. And this is it. The climbing of a mountain starts with a single step. Same with that. all you need is one mind that then, as we said earlier, the mastermind principle, they get with someone else and that changes another mind. I already see a spiritual awakening around the world at the minute with the COVID situation and the Russia. People are starting to come together. And, you know, a lot of the time, bad things or good things come from bad situations.
Yeah.
And
I'm
people don't
hoping.
always see that things can change. If you look at the Roman Empire was around for about 1,000 years, and that toppled. And I think that there's a massive change that's going to happen in the world with the political standpoint, because I mean, no one's happy with how the world's being run at the minute.
No,
It's just
I think we're coming upon a time where I think that the government is going to get overthrown.
100%. And do you know what?
Yeah.
You guys in America have got the best opportunity to do that. You can still bear on. No one else can do that because of obviously your Constitution, your First, Second Amendment, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you're
we would have to start. We have to start over here in America first.
Yeah, like I seen that thing with what's his name? Is it Florida? The senator there trying to overthrow Fauci as the head.
Oh yeah.
Senator Ron Paul or something like that.
Yeah, they're starting. They're trying. They're trying to do it. What they're doing is awakening. You know, they're awakening. You know, things that never been touched on. So I've been wanting to overthrow the government when I found out how to do it, and I seen it, and I was like, wow, they teach you this in school.
Yeah,
how to overthrow a government, and it go in one ear out the other for real, because people don't even dig. When you sitting there, you understanding the capitalism and all that stuff like that. That's the next thing that they teach you, how to overthrow the government. If your majority rules, like it's crazy the amount of things the rights that Americans really have, but they have the government reuse other rights against them to stop them from using other rights, which is crazy, because how could you use another loophole to stop me from doing my run right that's over here? But then that's like the bear arms. I have a right to bear arms, but you're telling me down here, if you catch a felony, that you can't bear arms. Like, what? How? So I'm not supposed to protect myself in the land of the free and the home of the brave, huh? That's what you're telling me.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think it's good that within obviously the states, there's like 50 states, and they're all you know, you've got Senate, House, and Congress, but within each state you can actually sort of make your own rules, can't you, to an extent, or some of the states anyway. And Florida, as I said, with their ruling, it really is good that that's happened, because it means that at a very high level within a massive state such as Florida, they're going against the World Health Organization, or trying to. I think that's massive, because that means that if they can't get that through, what's going to happen, and this is just my view, is that there will be breakaway states from the United States of America if they aren't allowed to put forward those ideas on a state basis. So Texas will be one, Florida will be another. They will break away from the United States. I think Texas was one of the last states.
13 colonies and shit like that. Like, you know, I think it's come full circle.
Texas wasn't always part of the United States, though, was it? I think it was one of the last. It was one of the last
states that came above, because first it was the whole East Coast, the West Coast, mid East Coast, all the way over was something else.
So every process can be reversed. If they all came together, they could easily disband again. And I think that if that does happen, the two states that will go first will be Texas and Florida. Personally,
and they're the red states too. They're the biggest red states. The biggest red states. Yeah. And you know what? They don't give a tootin' about nothing.
Yeah.
When you go down there, they don't care.
And what's the other one?
Because those are the states that Trump was having a problem with. Prescott, Arizona.
Arizona. They've got a good gun laws, haven't they? They've got the best gun laws.
They got the best gun laws.
The best ones. What do you mean by the best?
The best.
It's been the most liberal gun laws.
Yeah, you're allowed to bear arms no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah.
No matter what you got going on with yourself. But the police will shoot first, they will kill first, and then ask questions later. So they quick to draw. That's like a Western state.
for every positive, there's always an equal negative, isn't there? You know, if you're
absolutely.
super quick, you're probably going to not be that strong either. Yeah, and if you're super strong and massive, you're not going to be that quick. So it's the same thing.
Right.
If you've got a right to, you know, to have a gun, you've got to expect the same retaliation from someone in law enforcement, because they're not going to allow you to carry a gun willy-nilly, and they're not going to be able to obviously fire
Bust your ass.
because they don't know what kind of idiot you are. You know, let's
Right.
be fair. If you were a police officer and you've seen, you know, guys messing around, you're not going to take your chances. I'm sorry. That's for me. That's the issue with America in terms of the gun laws, is that's how the police feel. But a lot of the time, the guys are not doing anything wrong, and there needs to be some coherence there, with how, especially black people are dealt with, in America in terms of by bearing arms. I think for me, it's a case of visual first, and then people are treated by how they look. So if you got a cap on and hoodies and all that, they'll see you as a different person if you're wearing a suit and tie.
Right. Facts.
Yeah.
It's all about the perception goes back to the perception, and what they perceive is to be a threat.
Yeah. When you get very intelligent individuals wearing tracksuits, people do. Doesn't mean to say that, you know, it doesn't take anything away. And I know obviously there's a place to wear a tracksuit, there's a place to wear a suit. Like I'm sure if you get married, you're not going to wear, you know, you'd probably wear a tux, or, you know, you know, job interview, you dress accordingly. But just to basket everyone in the same demographic does not make sense at all. With the George
you both
Floyd
got the
thing.
same hoodie on.
Yeah.
What makes it different?
Yeah, exactly.
The complexion with the connection. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? Me and him, if we was both out walking,
They shoot both of you.
no, they would. They would, because they would think that you was like Russian or something, and you was like counter ops or something, and then you with this black guy. Oh yeah, let's
the hood up as well.
Yeah, this is not a good combination. Yeah, it's like, no, it's not a good yeah, don't let them. Yeah,
looking like a nitty.
Like, but then you take it off like, no, listen, sir, look, everything is all right. I'm pretty much fine over here on this side. You know, and then they're like, what? Like,
just trying to score my crack around the corner, mate.
Yeah, I'm just taking a walk. You see, I had my dog and it ran away, so I'm just trying to catch up to it. Could you leave me alone? And they're like, well, is this
you were running?
And then you come out all like, yo, man, like, yo, he just chilling. They be like, look, like, damn, like, yeah, stop judging a book by its cover. You don't know who's the white guy or who's the, the black guy. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or who's intelligent or who's not. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's like most pedophiles are white. Most pedophiles are white, and most like child molesters and stuff are white. Like I know that they're sort of similar, but they're not always the same thing. But you don't go around judging all white people based on that. Because I know that's a very small minority.
Mm-mm.
Do you know what I mean? So
I get you. I don't put them all in one pot like every white guy I see. He's touching his little daughter.
You went to Jeffrey Epstein's island. Do you know what I mean? You don't look at things like that, and you don't look at if you look at every race, you don't put every Russian as a bad person. You don't put every Mexican as someone who's going to mess around and not work. You actually have to look at the individual on a case by case basis, because look, you got to look at their soul and see what type of person they are. Like, I've met people that are my race and my religion and all that shit, absolute dickheads. But then you see someone who maybe you have, as you said, you're judging a book by the cover early on. I mean, everyone does it to an extent. You know, you can't get away from that. It's a human thing. But from there, you know, you have to make a decision and judge based on actions that people aren't what they maybe you think they are.
Absolutely. You said it best right there, man. I tell you, man, it's an interesting conversation, because the fact that we could jump on this stuff and bring light to it is a total big situation. You know what I mean? Because then now people could get the logistics and understand it if they listen to the podcast and and what we both have to say, and more so what you have to say, because you are the life coach.
I'm sure. Cheers, man. But look, as we said earlier, there's three of us in the room here, and I
So
can
what did
feel
we? So how many brains are here?
there's a connection here. We've got like a very we're all thinking on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Like how we're talking, we're saying things that one of us has said, or that we all think, oh yeah, we've said that, like the Tupac thing,
Yep.
and you said the thing that I quoted on the page as well about the chest going back in the same box. You know, we're all on the same page here, and that's the beauty of putting yourself in the right circles.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we continue to do this, maybe it's gonna get
Spark
better.
the mind.
We're gonna spark the minds and open up the world. You know what I mean? Maybe the right person will see the podcast.
But until then, we have to hustle and bustle and still continue
Yes.
to bring this greatness, no matter if someone's looking or if they're not, or if they're looking and then they may look later.
That's
Or
right.
you know what I mean? Because we do have a lot of viewers that come back and
Yeah,
they look at everything, afterwards and stuff like that, because they want to know. They want to know what Papers is doing. They want to know what Janny Schmanny is doing, because we always back with a banger. Reality music signal, the Comfort Level podcast. We always back with a banger. You know what I'm saying?
So JEEVAN,
Exactly.
please let the people know where they can find you, and if you have any shout outs or whatever. Unfortunately, we're out of time.
I wish we had more, because the good conversations right here, it need more than just 2 hours.
You can always. He jumped out.
No, by accident.
All right. Well, he went out by accident. We can listen to this. We'll take you out with this. Let's see if we might come back in. No, it's.
I will walk a mile in my shoes, do it again. Never turn my back, I put my face upon the wind. As ever I should lose, I choose to lose and win. Calculated moves, I wouldn't break, I couldn't bend.
Sorry about that. It was your connection loss.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, to be fair. I can still see you, but you couldn't see me for some reason.
Oh, he could still see us, but we couldn't see him. All right. Well, let us know. Let the people know where they can follow you at, and everything. And once we do that, we're gonna take them out with the song that I told you about. It's called Rough and Rugged.
Yeah, so just 2 places really. So the book, my author name is J.S. Math. So Juliet Sierra Math as in the subject. You can find those books on Amazon. It's called Become a Person of Value. The second is the coaching side. So that's Vanquish Transformational Coaching, as in the Aston Martin Vanquish. So yeah, I mean, I'll send those links over to you, I'm sure, anyway.
So I was going to say, can you please send me the links?
And then, so if anyone wants to reach out, feel free, or if you just want to pick up a book. And obviously, as I said, the second book is out later in the year. So you'll be able to write down, that'll be your own personal copy, and you can map your life out.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely get that book, because I actually want to do that.
It's a really good way to, as I said, just jot down your own thoughts, but with triggers. So the questions, what traits do you dislike in other people? You write those down and you think, well, actually, what do I have any of those traits? And if you do, you can start to change those. And it's a really, really deep book, and it's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. So we'll look forward to seeing it.
Excellent.
Thank you for coming.
So don't forget to send us the links.
Yeah, make sure you
I'll email to you on the email you sent across earlier with the podcasting.
Okay, and make sure that you check out the comfortlevel.com and leave us a review or whatever, and look for this video recap on there as well.
Love it.
Yeah, it's going to stay on the website, and stay in touch.
Yeah, I will do. I'm going to email you actually just following this, and we'll keep in touch. I'd love to come on the show again at some point.
Yeah, we'll have you back on.
Because I think we've had a really good conversation, and I think it's been very insightful from both sides, really.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, have a good day, guys, and all the best.
All right, big guy.
Cheers.
All right.
I will walk a mile in my shoes, do it again. Never turn my back, I put my face upon the wind.
What's up?
Whenever I should lose, I choose to lose the win. Calculated moves, I wouldn't break, I couldn't bend.
Every year.
I am a Camille when I combine with my pen. Pull-ups, push-ups, dips, doing sex in the pen. Lax around the tracks with the lifers on how to win. Take somebody else's mistakes, turn it to a gym. Think before you react, cause you ain't tough for beeswax. Death coming 3x, so watch where you be at. Reap a big beeper on the hip. Old school creep you on some shit. Push your top back, leave you in the whip. I was taught to listen, shut my mouth. That's how we learn. And if you don't see through all this shit, watch how you burn. Knowledge both for speech and action. Order of that word, and get that order on that bird so I can slaughter that curve. I was taught to listen, shut my mouth, that's how you learn. And if you don't see through all this shit, watch how you burn. Knowledge both for speech and action. Order of that word, and get that order on that bird so I can slaughter that curve. I am who I am, who I'm not, I will never be. I only know my loyalty to those that was loyal to me. Take the knowledge, then I'm running with it. In the hellfire coming with it. Opportunity I held for ransom when she knocked the door. She wouldn't get away till I got my score. About things that I'm doing to her. I'm screaming F the world and everybody knowing her. Back against the wall, so I'm fighting with the hunger in me. Crack slash the whip, bring the light and the thunder with me. Ancestors too, cause the message they've been through put us where we need to be. And it's present day that's true. I was taught to listen, shut my mouth, that's how you learn. And if you don't see through all that shit, watch how you burn. Knowledge both for speech and action. Order of that word, nigga, that order on that bird so I can slaughter that curve. I was taught to listen, shut my mouth, that's how you learn. And if you don't see through all that shit, watch how you burn. Knowledge both for speech and action. Order of that word, nigga, that order on that bird so I can slaughter that curve. When I step, I clear a landfill. I can see the world from where I'm standing. It's a track field. I want to know how that feel. I'm tired of waking up. Another black kill. Expediting skills on this mic. Feel you hating me? Way across the room. Feel that heat you try and bake with me? Soup them on for show. I've been cooking for a while. Just brewing in the pot. My recipe up for the style. Watching every move. City of Loom try to follow me. Wanna take my shine since a kid. Then fuck a doctor sleep. Waking up a cold night sweat. Demons fighting me. Riding my back until it's hell with day and night in me. I was taught to listen, shut my mouth, that's how you learn. And if you don't see through all this shit, watch how you burn. Knowledge before speech and action. Order of that word, nigga, that order on that bird so I can slaughter that curve. I was taught to listen, shut my mouth, that's how you learn. And if you don't see through all this shit, watch how you burn. Knowledge before speech and action. Order of that word, nigga, that order on that bird so I can slaughter that curve. Okay, y'all see what it is. You know what I'm saying? Janie Schmanny on the Comfort Level Podcast. Your boy Paperman back with a banger, man. And we had
JEEVAN.
we had the guy no other than JEEVAN MATHARU in the building, bringing that life coach stuff to y'all and letting y'all know what's going on and how to handle yourself. So make sure y'all tune in. If you didn't get to tune in, make sure you go back and you listen again and you see what's going on and you listen what's going on and you act upon it. So peace and love to everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? From us to y'all, from WCMD. Peace.
Peace.